Hello and welcome to OmniQuad's Mailwall Remote Email Filtering Solution demo. My name is Nadeem Sahir and I'm the OmniQuad Product Manager, and I'll be talking you through the email filtering solution with Mailwall Remote. So here we have the main page, the home page, the landing page for Mailwall Remote. The policy editor that you can see at the top of the page here, this retains all your policies for your inbound as well as outbound emails. We configure this to meet the service level agreements, so the solution effectively works out of the box, but you can add further policies based on the Active Directory for incoming as well as outgoing mail. The quarantine area retains your spam mail, so low scoring spam within the quarantine has a 7-day retention period, after which emails are deleted. The trash can holds a really high scoring spam mail, and again the same 7-day policy applies. Within the reports, we allow you to run information reports based on your mail volumes, your bandwidth utilization and intercepted messages. The message tracking allows you to search for incoming, outgoing mail as well as mail rejected at the gateway. And the managed settings allows you to set up login permissions as to who can log in, which areas of the solution are visible, and which areas of the solution they can make changes to. We have the managed domains, which allows you to edit the list of your domains, and you can add, remove domains here at will without notice period and without any cost being incurred. The composed mail is part of ECRS, Email Contingency and Recovery Service, and that's in case of any server downtime, and I'll talk a bit more about the ECRS service in just a bit. So these are the 7 key areas of the service, of the solution that we're going to be looking to cover off today. We do have some additional add-ons to the product which sit below these links that you can see here. If I click on the more mailbox options, this will drop down to reveal the secure quarantine area, which is retaining all your policy-based encrypted emails should policy encryption be active on the account. ECRS, so this is the Email Contingency and Recovery Service. In case of any server downtime, OmniQuad will queue emails for a period of 7 days. The minute your mail server is back up and running, we will redeliver those emails to you. With ECRS enabled on the account, end users can log in through the Mail Remote interface and send and receive emails from here. And it's business as usual, totally transparent to the third party. There's no way that they can tell you have issues with the email server, because the emails always appear as if they're coming from your domain. ECRS also retains the last 30 days worth of mail, so any user can go back as far as 30 days and search internal as well as external emails. The Exchange Archive and Disaster Recovery allows you to archive emails anything up to 15 years. There's no limit on data retention or data storage. It's Outlook integrated, and we can provide stubbing, journaling, event sync plugin options, so whichever option works best for you in order to archive your emails. Within the reports and tracking, on the more tracking options drop down, this drops down to reveal the quarantine access audit logs, and this feature allows you to find the details of mail that have been viewed, released, deleted from the quarantine and also from the trash can area. It also gives you visibility on emails being viewed from the spam digest that we'll look at in just a bit. Within the managed settings, on the drop down, this reveals some other key areas of the solution, like the managed personal logins, the managed personal blacklist and whitelist, the spam digest, the managed smart list, and also the setup advisor. So with the managed personal login details, administrators are able to edit personal login details for the multiple domains on the solution. Personal blacklist and whitelist, so again, administrators are able to view and edit personal blacklist and whitelist entries. And with the spam digest, this will report an email to the end user upon configuration of the emails that have been stored within that individual's quarantine. Depending on the functionality the administrator allows, that end user then can preview, release on whitelist or blacklist directly from the spam digest. So this is a very important tool to help detect any false positives that may potentially be within the quarantine area. Last but not least, we have the managed smart list, still very much with the end user in mind, whereas the spam digest is helping to detect false positives, the smart list is helping to reduce them, and it does this by automatically adding the recipients of your outbound mails to your whitelist, so that when the individuals reply, the solution will know these email addresses to be legitimate contacts because your end users have sent the email, and it will allow those emails to bypass the spam filtering rules. All the other policies set up for viruses, attachment types, sizes will still be applied. We're simply bypassing spam filtering to further reduce your false positive rates. And what we have done with many organizations is taken 6 months worth of outbound email logs, replicated those into our smart list, so that the minute you switch across, we effectively have the last 6 months worth of back data to work from to ensure that your false positives are being kept to a bare minimum. Last but not least, we have the Setup Advisor, and this is a proactive tool alerting administrators to possible configuration issues on the account. So if you ever do see this red banner on the top of the screen, you know this is a Setup Advisor, or what's also called as the Configuration Advisor, and you can simply click on the Setup Advisor within the Manage Settings, and this will then redirect you, show you the areas of the solution that need addressing, some links there on how to rectify the problem, some more FAQs further down on the same page, and failing all of that, technical support is always available 24/7, 365 days a year. First line support you can contact via chat facility online. There's a number that we provided here that you can call them on. There's also an email address you can email them on, a live ticketing system through a live accounts, and Care Tower as master distributors can also provide first line support with trained technicians that we have on site in the UK. So these are the key areas of the solution within Mailwall Remote. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through how we configure a policy. If I take the virus policy here as an example and click on the edit feature, the next page that loads will be the rule configuration for the policy of the virus, which happens to be rule number 6224. And here we're setting our parameters as to how the solution should be identifying your particular policy. The traffic control for incoming or outgoing message, define the conditions, which is the first process, the first stage of process. The initial action, it will then decide what to do with the email once it's met one of the criteria within the defined conditions, and then the final action will then determine where you want this email to go. Do you want it quarantined, deleted, delayed until off-peak time, etc. So we can see here that the traffic control is incoming, but we can from the drop down also select incoming custom for a particular org unit, security group or domain user, or the same for outgoing as well. We can view and modify a sender exclusion list or a recipient exclusion list, and we can also set up these policies based on time ranges, taking into consideration public holidays and bank holidays, etc. So once we've set our parameters for the traffic control, we can then look to define the conditions for our policy. And you can see here that the rule can look for specific criteria, or we can action all messages. But because this is a virus policy, we are looking for specific criteria, and the rule itself will be triggered when at least one of the following criteria is true. And in this case, we're saying the message or one of its attachments is infected with the virus. So the minute the solution identifies this email, it will delete it, because that's what OmniQuad have configured it to do. However, that's not set in stone. You can change the end result if needs be, and I'll show you how we do that in just a bit. Within the policy itself, we can further specify for spam filtering to say if the message is spam, let OmniQuad choose the best methods of filtering it, and we'll be happy to do that. If the spam score exceeds or equals the spam scoring threshold of 100 points, again, our threshold is not set in stone. This can be decreased or increased accordingly. We can filter by offensive keywords, and we have a database of keywords you could choose from, or you may wish to custom content those keywords yourself, and the solution itself will check within the header, the subject and the body of every inbound outbound email to ensure these keywords are not present. We have high definition data loss prevention here, ensuring that any messages containing credit card numbers are protected. It shows you that OmniQuad are PCI and DSS compliant. These emails are not being stored on our mail service, and it also ensures that OmniQuad prevent these emails from being forwarded outside of your network. It simply blacks out the credit card numbers. If there's any attachments containing credit card numbers, we can perform optical character recognition on all kinds of extensions. So OmniQuad support PDFs, docs, docx, XLS, etc. And we can also enable high definition data loss prevention, ensuring any number of emails, names, social security numbers, credit card numbers, etc. are prevented again from being forwarded outside of your network. Simply select our parameters here, we specify the rule and ensure these emails are not going out. Alerts will be sent to administrators informing them of this information. Attachment types, so if there's any attachments greater than certain file size, if there's any messages or any senders rather present within the recipient's personal blacklist, the rule will be triggered. Or if there's message from bounce notification from spoof mail, so backscatter spam, again the solution will be able to identify and quarantine these emails accordingly. IP restrictions, we can restrict emails coming in from specific IP addresses, or if the message is not received from an IP address, we're simply adding and removing these email addresses accordingly. We have image trap, which sits within the policy editor, and this has a 95% SLA in blocking all of this content from entering and leaving your network. So any jokes, any offensive shopping content, any emails depicting partial nudity, pornographic material, or advertisements will automatically get blocked. And there's a 95% service level agreement backing image trap. Last but not least, we have our language lists, and we can again further ensure emails are being blocked or allowed through depending on your policy if any of these clash with any of the languages that we have here. So that is the initial condition to define our policy. The initial action will allow an administrator to then modify a subject of the message. They may choose to forward a copy of their message to individuals with a different reply sender address. There's an option here to reply to the message sender using the text in this box here, or we can even send a notification to the intended recipient with the information in this window. Last but not least, we can add some text at the bottom of a message, either in plain text or HTML, and these are those disclaimers. We can upload company images or logos to add to these disclaimers. We can send an alert to a senior member of administration or HR with a quick note to what this alert is all about. We may choose to remove headers from the emails as well. And then the final action here for this virus policy is to delete, but you can see from the drop down that there are some further parameters for you to select from as to the end result for this particular policy. But as this is a virus rule, we want it to be deleted, and therefore the policy is to set up to delete any virus.